would Utopia be worth it? Like Rock is like the perfect, like an actual politician. Like he's a great person all the time. But your president has to fucking smash kitten skulls every night and then like beat off into a cup or something.
The Rock would beat off into the cup and then drink it.
Yeah.
No
wasted protein.
Get that protein. Earn that cheat day.
Is that why gay dudes are so jacked? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Last Call podcast. My name is Mikey T. I'm joined as always by Tristan.
Hello.
Check out all our social media aspects. YouTube.com/MikeyTversus. iTunes, Stitcher.
Hit us up on the
Google.
gram.
Instagram. Hey, why not?
Facebook, Twitter.
All that good stuff.
Snapchat.
Does anybody use Twitter?
Tinder.
I still hate Twitter. Tinder.
MySpace.
Yeah, you could probably find Can't Get Right on
Grindr.
Ooh. Oh no.
Should we start a Grindr profile?
That'd be hilarious. I'll use Dixon's picture.
Speaking of Grindr, happy anniversary to our friends, rivals, competitors over at Can't Get Right podcast. They just celebrated their 1 year, I think maybe 20th episode anniversary the other day. I was surprised to see that. I couldn't believe when I saw that pop up.
We were just saying I didn't think we had seen anything from them in a while, and then
apparently
bam, they made it back. Right.
Well, apparently they have one in the can. Is it out yet? I haven't seen it. Did it launch?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just
might.
curious. But congratulations to those boys over there, especially Toro.
Yeah, for putting all the hard work in.
We're fans of Toro.
But still, fuck you, Toro. Anyway, so go ahead, hit that Sands of time.
Go, Sand, go.
So it is 7-Eleven for right now.
July 11th, happy 7-Eleven day. Day where the entire country loses its mind over a beverage that they normally give no shits about.
I hate Slurpees.
That's not surprising.
I mean, I hate everything. We've established that. But I just don't care for Slurpees.
We need to develop a scale for you.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't say hate for everything.
things you hate. Like a 0 is like your close friends and family. Or like a 1 is like your close friends and family. And then 10 is like, I don't know what, like people who don't put the weights back at the gym, or like
I do legitimately, like, full on hate those people.
or like
God.
People who sell copper knee braces at the mall.
Yeah. And then anybody, like people that don't use their turn signal or drive slow in the fast lane.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Those are pretty up there.
Is that a 10?
Solid. Yeah.
Like above, like,
considering I've got out of my car and threatened to hurt people, I'd say that's a 10.
Nazis and ISIS occupy the like 8-9 slot, but like the people who don't use turn signals, that's a solid 10. That's up there.
Oh, yeah, it's like them and like child molesters. They're same level.
I felt like a real dick last week, by the way, when I'm not even sure we were recording it. I don't remember whether this made the air. When I made a joke, when I looked at Phil's knee brace, and I was like, "Oh, what is it, infused with copper?" And then like everybody got real quiet because it was infused with copper.
Yeah.
I felt really bad about that.
I was a little disappointed in you, Phil. There.
So 7-Eleven day, you didn't make it for your Slurpee?
No, I did not. I mean, I would. So I like free things. Free things are great, but if you're gonna have to go through all this extra effort to get this tiny little free Slurpee, because I think it used to be you could bring your own like cup or whatever, like any vessel that could hold liquid, they would allow you to make a Slurpee out of.
Well, that evolution was always really funny to me, because it was like the first year it was like bring your own vessel and we fill it, and people were bringing like trash bags.
Yeah. Or it's like shoes, or they'd have like Das Boot, like the big drinking thing.
Right.
You know, buckets, like that I can appreciate, because like I said, I don't like Slurpees. It's like a 4 on the hate scale.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. They're just mild annoyance.
But you love eating lots of things.
Yeah, but
so like If I brought like a
tough.
bucket of Slurpee in here, I was like, Mike, I bet you can't drink that.
Well, yeah, if you
What are
bet
you,
me
a
I
pussy?
couldn't,
Right.
yeah, because I love a good challenge. That I'd probably
Here's the $22 I paid for this volume of Slurpee. It's yours if you can finish it.
I've been because
What's the
as we
actual-
mentioned with when Ahmad was on, we talked about my hatred of karaoke, and I don't think I mentioned, but there's only 2 times I've ever done karaoke, and I was paid both times.
Oh, you've done karaoke twice?
Mm-hmm.
If you had asked me, I would have said there's no amount of money that could get you to go up and do karaoke.
Everything has a price.
Were you like hammered drunk?
No,
What was the price? Like the
I was hammered drunk
like the
for
life
one
of your child?
I was hammered.
Like you got a
drunk for one of
FaceTime, it was like I have baby Michael.
And I was like, "Do you have anything else?" Like,
You will sing anything by Salt and Pepper.
so yeah, one time I was hammered, and that was at I think it was Devin's birthday one time. He always goes to cheeseburger in Paradise, which is one of the that's at least a 5 on my scale.
Oh, I'm surprised it's that low.
Well, it's because I only see it like once a year,
Okay.
so
Okay,
it doesn't have
doesn't build up.
it doesn't have that grip on my soul like slow people in the fast lane.
So
but,
what did you sing?
I was paid a collective group effort $17 to attempt to sing Mbop.
$17 to sing Bop Hammer Drunk.
Yep. I did not know there were so many words in that song. In my mind, Mbop is just Mbop said multiple times.
And you say Bop a lot of times.
Yeah.
Is the other problem.
Which I had wrapped my head around that, and then it got to the part where you actually have to sing, and it's like bare naked ladies level quick. It's like really fast.
Yeah,
I'm sitting
yeah,
there
yeah.
trying to read this song that I've never actually fully listened to before, and sing, which I don't do.
Right.
And they cut it off like almost immediately. So,
Oh, they cut you off because
Oh, yeah.
it was that bad?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it
that's
was that
good.
bad. I mean, because I couldn't keep it. I was like, what the fuck? Why are there so many words? And that was essentially my karaoke experience.
Because it's cheeseburger in paradise and not a biker bar.
But then I was also paid $60 to sing "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred.
Okay. That's another one, though, with a lot of words in it. Because he starts
Right.
rapping at some point, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of slow.
Okay, so it's slow, like 90s rapping.
Yeah, it's not very intense. But that,
$60.
yeah, I was like,
That seems worth it.
Absolutely.
That seems worth it.
It was somebody I was working with. They were like, "I'll give you $20 if you sing Right Said Fred." I was like, "No, I'm not doing karaoke." She's like, $40. It's like, well, $60. I'm like, all right, fine.
Should have held out.
I'm just. I know. It's
At
just,
the end of the night, she's like, "Here's the title of my car. Here's the pin to my bank account. There's $1,800 in it."
I mean, if you're willing to pay somebody $60 to sing, you probably don't have a lot of money in your bank
Is
account.
there video of it? There's got to be, right?
Probably not. It's on someone's.
Phone
dead.
somewhere.
Yeah, this was years ago.
Oh, okay.
So thankfully, no.
Do you ever think about? And we're straying way off the beaten path at this point. We'll get back to where we started. I promise.
Fuck Slurpees.
Do you ever think about, especially you working in a bar?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think about how many photos have been taken of you that exist out in the world, like without your like consent or knowledge?
Yeah.
Like maybe you're like in the background of somebody's favorite photo from the bar. You know what I mean? Or like,
Well, I've seen that happen, and then also everybody thinks of guys at the bar as super fucking creepy, and they are. They absolutely are.
true.
Women nearly as creepy.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
How so?
They just aren't as like flagrant about it.
Oh, are you insinuating that like women are like taking photos of you like covertly?
Yeah,
Really?
I've caught it,
Oh, really?
and on multiple occasions. And then I've also had people ask to take photos, or
Like with you or of
Yeah.
you or okay.
so. And I can't be the only one. That's got to happen to people on a fairly regular basis, depending on what, that's not going to happen at like, I don't know if you're a bartender at like Carrabba's or something, but
Right.
I mean, if you're at a bar, that's you're going to get people that have a few too many drinks and start asking you some weird shit.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it happens. It goes both ways. You get creepers are not a one sex.
That's true. I mean, you have to have had in your years as a fit guy, you have to have had more than your fair share of women having too many drinks coming at you of varying attractiveness levels. Now, you have been attached for many of the last several years, but I mean, you were in bars for a lot of years before that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there had to be a lot of women coming to you who you weren't interested in, and how do you deal with that? Do you do the same, like the classic waitress thing where it's like you kind of flirt back and maybe not leave an opening for getting a number or something, but you don't want to leave money on the table?
Well, so I'm pretty straightforward. It helps that I'm an asshole and I don't care about people's feelings.
True.
So,
okay.
One, a guy that I work with, he thinks it's insane that I don't like even play into, because he sees it every once in a while, and he's like, why didn't you say anything to that girl? I was like, I don't give a shit about her.
Right.
Like, why am I'm married with a kid. Why am I going to give a shit about this girl that's hitting on me? Like, I'm not going to sit there and play along. I guarantee you it's not going to get me more money. And that's ultimately what I'm there for.
So you don't believe that if you played into it a little bit that it would make you more money. I guess that's true. I guess women aren't really predisposed to tip a guy more because they're flirting with him.
No,
That's
not
a
at
dude.
all.
That's a dude thing, right? Yeah. Okay.
And even that, I think you're flipping a coin for women if you got a guy that's hitting on you. It really just depends on if that guy's a good tipper or not.
Yeah, I mean, he might be.
Until you get to that creepy old man status, like creepy old men will always tip more if you like. There's a guy that comes in the Naughties that pays $20 to the servers to hug him.
Oh yeah.
Like you get stuff like that. That kind of stuff doesn't happen to me. Creepy old men, like. Women get to a certain age and they just give up on the creepiness. Sort of. I say that, and then there's multiple like over 50 women at Nottingham's that constantly hit on me.
Right. Yeah, I suspected as much.
But they're not paying for it. This guy is like guy and multiple others will tip more to female bartenders and to the wait staff, which are all women.
Is it just like understood, or is it like that deal's on Front Street? Like, you give him a hug, he'll hand you a $20 bill? Or is it just like, I hug him every time he comes here, he always tips me $20, you should do the same?
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between? Okay. He
I
said
would
it at
say.
some point? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that particular guy where it's like that direct, I have barely spoken 10 words with the guy. Because for one, he only goes to the women, so unless I happen to be next to them when he's creeping on them, I have no interaction.
That's a big problem in the bar industry. The creepy guy, the creepy older guy. I mean, I don't know though. I could be that guy. That's not completely out of the question. Like if my family died, which happens.
That got morbid real quick.
You don't have that. You don't think through that plan ever. Like wife and kid die in a tragic bus accident, and like now you're just free and clear.
Christina talks about that. She's like, if I ever die or something, you have to wait a certain amount of time before dating again. I was like, if you die, I'm done dating. I'm not dealing with any more people. I'm over that shit. I hate people, man.
I'm going gay.
Hell no. I hate guys just as much.
Yeah, but at least they're more straightforward. You don't have to go through the dating minefield, I think.
Well, I never did anyway.
That's true. You take very little bullshit, which helps.
I went straight to like this especially after I went through some bad relationships
Right.
where it's like, all right, I'm not dealing with any shit anymore.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm up front. Look, I'm an asshole. I'm gonna say whatever the hell I think. I'm not gonna lie about it. You're getting me. Like that's take it or leave it. And thankfully for Christina, that was very refreshing at the time.
I can just see you with like a if you can't handle me if what is it if you can't handle me at my worst, you can't have me at my best bumper sticker. Like,
Yeah, right. God, no, I'm just being honest. Like this is what you get.
No, like I think about like if I didn't have a family anymore. Like okay, when Susan wises up and leaves me and takes the kids, and then I'm left, single.
And then Raekwon moves in.
Right? Yeah, maybe they have a free room.
Why Tristan got the hot wife?
Yeah. No, see, in my vision in my head, it was like they were always dead, and I was like, I get a life insurance policy and like take off on a motorcycle into the Mexican desert or something like that for a couple of years, and I come back with like a beard and long hair, and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to like move on with my life. Like I've dealt with my shit. And then a couple of years goes by, and then eventually I'm the creepy guy in his late 40s, early 50s, early 60s at the bar, tipping waitresses too much to pay attention to him, which is just this side of hanging out at a strip club, right? I mean, that's basically what you're doing.
But you got to figure, I'm still somewhat young.
You're not that guy.
And I don't even like strip clubs now.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no. You'll never be that guy. No, you will never be a creepy old guy. I don't care what horrible accident your family dies in or what, Mexican motorcycle trip you end up going on. You're not going to come back and be that guy when you're old.
If I didn't work in bars, I would probably almost never go to them.
I believe that. It costs money and it involves a lot of people. Two things which you fucking are like nines.
Yeah.
Big crowds
way
and
up on the
spending
hate
money
scale.
is like right above Nazis and below Slurpees.
Yeah. No, and slow people in the fast lane, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Slow people in the fast lane. That's what was up in 10.
Yes. Slurpees are pretty low. We've established that.
No, you'll never. When Christina wises up and leaves you and takes your child, somewhere in your late 30s, early 40s, what do you do with yourself in your late 40s? Probably just more video games.
Work out and play video games
Just
like I
work out
do
and
now.
play video games. Yeah, just never stops.
I'd get these videos done in time.
Well.
As I sit in sadness and the podcast takes a dark turn. It's like, have I talked about how much I hate my life?
Welcome
no,
back
for real this
welcome
time.
back to the last call. Maybe the last call.
Get it? I'm going to kill myself.
I've been experimenting with different types of rope lately.
Like tying it on air.
Don't want to get the elasticity wrong. Then
like,
you just suffocate. That's not what you want.
You don't want to mess either.
You want to sever that third and fourth vertebrae. Make it quick.
Learning with Mikey T on Last Call Podcast.
Anyway, guys, let's go to Would You Rather.
Yeah. Let's talk about some video games. Oh, man.
Stranger Things Season 2 is coming up. Maybe I'll be alive to see it.
It's sad because it's not that much different than how I ultimately sound right now.
Well, you're right.
I'm
It's
talking
not
about how much I hate
that
everything.
much. Like, at least all the like suicidal stuff is happening on the inside.
Yeah,
I feel like
bury that down deep and then
swallow it.
occasionally outlatch and just take out some random person that I don't like.
Swallow it, burn it inside, turn it into rage, and eventually deck some 23-year-old who's talking some shit.
Yeah, which to be fair, I'd probably do that even if I wasn't pissed off. But
I mean, you're like
makes it a lot
you're
easier.
like I mean, you're like the fucking Hulk, though, right? That's like.
oh yeah,
That's my secret.
I'm
I'm always angry. That's why you're always ready for a fight.
It's so true.
Not only is today Slurpee Day, today is Amazon Prime Day. We bought ourselves a fancy new camera.
Well,
Look forward to that.
yeah.
One day
whenever it arrives
when
from
it
China,
ships here from China.
as long as China. China.
Oh, don't. We've done a great job of avoiding politics.
Yeah.
I think it's been many weeks now since we brought up anything Trumpian. We got ourselves a fancy new camera. Other than that, I don't think I bought me some Amazon Music, 4 months for 99 cents. I don't know why I did that, but I did that.
Yeah, that's an odd choice. Do you buy albums or anything anymore?
I don't buy albums, but I buy, I'd say 10 or 20 like individual tracks a year. You know, if there's a single that comes out that I really like, or like, it's always a lot of it's weird stuff. Like, I just watched, it's a movie I can't stop telling everybody about, Kubo and the Two Strings on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, there is Regina Spektor, who I imagine is like a 6'7" on the Mikey hate scale, does a cover of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" with traditional Japanese instruments. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, I need to own this, and I need to pay the person who fucking made it because it's awesome. But yeah, so it's always weird stuff like that, and it's a little, outlandish. So like 10 or 20 tracks a year, but this is like, Amazon's Spotify competitor, right? So like they have a huge chunk of the music in the world. So for 99 cents for 4 months, I was like, okay, why not? I won't pay for it. I think once that ends, it's like $8 a month or something like that. I don't like music that much.
Yeah, that's why I've always been a junkie for Pandora.
I like Pandora a lot. Pandora is one of the few like subscription things that I pay for the Pandora one or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've finally been considering it now that they upgraded it so you can like go back and listen to specific songs, whereas before it got rid of the ads.
It got rid of the ads and it gave you more skips.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing, but depending on the channel that you're listening to or trying to craft could be kind of useful sometimes.
You get like something like 6 skips every 12 hours or something like that anyway.
Right.
So unless you're really sitting there and listening for a long period of time. I've crafted some pretty eclectic channels over the last few years where it's just I slowly modified, upvoting, downvoting the stuff I like.
Right. I was overcraft. I have a channel now that I think legit plays
damn near everything.
No, like 8 songs, maybe 10, like in a loop. Like it's
I have one that kind of does that too.
And it happened really slowly over time, and I think I just gave it such specific parameters that it's only got a few songs in its database, and I don't even know why it doesn't even bother trying to go
branch
outside
out
that
anymore.
At some point. It's just the same 10 songs on a loop, and I love those 10 songs, so it works out okay. With Spotify, I get tied up in tyranny of choice. Like, there's so much to listen to, I can't fucking pick anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never been a big Spotify guy.
And I don't want to put in the effort to find all these different songs that I want to listen to. I'd rather just be like, okay, I want to listen to this genre.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to that right now. And if I get tired of that, I'll switch over or whatever. But
I'll tell you where I'm finding mileage in Amazon Music is they've got curated playlists. So top 100 classic rock songs of all time. Okay. That's not something you could do on Pandora, but it's something you could do when you have access to that larger track list.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is kind of cool. Again, it's not something I pay $8 for, but it's all right.
Yeah, if they came up with something, because what's the Pandora one? It's like $30 for a year or something like that, or less. I can't even remember.
I think it's $5. I think it's $5 a month.
Okay.
So it's like $60 a year, I think.
Yeah.
It's $5. I think it's $5 a month for Pandora One. And just getting rid of the ads. I use it enough that it's at this point. I had satellite for a long time, which I loved. It's just I couldn't justify the expense anymore.
It's so overpriced.
You know what? Not having ads, and
Well, because here's where it'll get you. So one of the channels that I liked on satellite radio was the comedy channel, and the comedy channel had ads.
it does.
Like,
You're right.
how does that happen?
But the music stations don't have ads. I loved Howard Stern. I got a lot of mileage out of Howard Stern. I was a big fan of Jason Ellis on Faction. So like, there's a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed on there. I got a lot of mileage out of it. But with two cars, even when you get their like special deals, it's like $30 a month or something like that.
Which is insane for music.
I'm in the car a lot, but I listen to so many like podcasts and audiobooks at this point. I was really paying, $30 a month for like Howard Stern, like, and I can't, you're right. That's fucking madness. So we killed that. And now I'm back to fucking FM radio, which has ads all over the place and signal drops in and out.
Why don't you do the Pandora?
Well, that's what that's what I do now. That's why Pandora 1 for me is worth it, because no ads, streams, clear quality.
If I had a longer commute, I probably.
Oh, that's true. You spend 10 minutes in the car every day.
Yeah. For Ellicott City, it's like 10 minutes. For Columbia, it's like 20, 25 if I hit some traffic. So I hit like one, maybe two sets of ads in my drive.
Yeah.
So
no, see, I'm in the car hour and a half, 2 hours a day. Like, it's 45 minutes to an hour each way, in and out of work.
Yeah, traffic's a solid 10. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
I would if I could murder people in traffic and get away with it, I absolutely would.
I was on my way here tonight, and you had texted me, and I was leaving my apartment complex, and you're like, "You gonna be here about 9?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving now, 9:05." And then I was like, I'm a little past 9:05, I think. And then I sent back 9:10. And as soon as I sent back 9:10, I exited my apartment complex. I took the exit, and I turned around, and I got onto 29 North, and I came to a stop because they'd closed 3 lanes to pave them, and there was a mile of parking lot traffic. Yeah, so I dealt with that. Let's get back on track here a little bit. I wanted to pick your brain on something. I've wanted to talk about this for several weeks now, since it was announced, and just with our guests, we've had great guests lately, so we just haven't really gotten around to it. I wanted to talk about the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight, if you could call it that.
Air quotes for that
event that will be happening. When is it? Is it August?
Yeah, it's August.
Yeah,
something like mid-August, I think.
So the two of them have agreed to fight.
They've agreed to box.
They've agreed to box. It is going to be. It will probably be one of the richest pay-per-view purses of all time. Speculation is that the two of them are splitting a couple $100 million at this point for the purse, and who knows what the pay-per-view will make. I guess for those of you who don't know, Floyd Mayweather,
arguably the best boxer of all time.
Arguably the best boxer. Garbage human,
yes,
but amazing boxer. Pound for pound, just one of the best ever. Mm-hmm. Conor McGregor
is a very good MMA fighter and
great MMA fighter.
Yeah. Well, but he's there's only so many people he's proved himself against too. So,
That's true.
He doesn't have like a long storied career. He's only really been relevant for a couple years, and he's beat some really tough people. Mm-hmm. But still, I mean, they're different sports.
Very different sports.
And boxing especially is extremely sport oriented. When you have somebody like Mayweather who has very intelligently learned that just don't get hit, and you don't have to get that knockout. If you don't get hit and you hit them, even if you're not doing a damn thing to them, you're going to win.
Right.
And you just don't see that as much in MMA. So it's a different world where Conor McGregor is a knockout artist in MMA, and he can, if he catches somebody with that left hand, he's gonna knock him out.
Some of the best hands in MMA
Yeah.
today. One of the better boxers in the sport.
And his movement is great, but his movement incorporates a lot of feints and with the legs and everything. He's going to not just lose the arsenal of the kicks and the ground game and all that stuff. He's going to lose his style of boxing.
Yeah, you can't fake a kick.
Yeah.
And go for the punch. Floyd doesn't have to watch your legs in the same way. You know, he doesn't have to worry that you're going to kick him in the head.
Now, it would be hilarious if he still feinted kicks, and I would love to see that. I'm sure they have a thing where, like, if he kicks Mayweather, like, he forfeits all the money and goes to jail or whatever. Like, because Mayweather's a genius about setting up his contracts. But I mean, I doubt there's anything that says you can't, like, put your leg up, like
right, fake a kick. Yeah.
That'd be fucking funny. And it's a joke anyway, so why the fuck not?
Yeah, it's not a real fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what's weird. Like, is there any part of you? Are there any odds I could give you? Okay, you've got to put up $1,000. Okay, are there any odds I can give you to take Conor McGregor?
No.
50-1. If Conor gets the win, you get $50,000. There's no odds that you'll take. You think there is literally zero chance that he, even in a fluke, wins this fight?
I'll say, I don't know. It's at best it's like 99% chance.
Okay.
That he loses. You know. Like,
I think that's fair.
I would say it's closer to 99.9. 0.3 repeating, of course. But I mean, there's no chance. I mean, you're not. I mean, he could go in and fight a mid-level boxer and maybe win. You know. But he's facing the best, not just, you know, like if he fought someone like Pacquiao, who like puts himself out there and takes risks, sure, I'd give him a puncher's chance. Mayweather doesn't do that. His whole thing is not getting hit.
And he's not facing the guy at the top of the heap right now. Like, he's facing the best ever. And the guy's not the best ever because he's got the heaviest hands or because he's the best athlete or because he's got the best conditioning. It's because he's mentally picked his opponents apart for a decade.
Yeah. And he's fought a ton of tomato cans and fucking, you know, stars that were on their way down. But it doesn't matter. He still won. And he won in convincing fashion for most of them.
Right.
I mean, I started hating him when he beat De La Hoya, when De La Hoya was arguably on his way out. And if you saw them he very convincingly won the point battle of boxing. But you saw that after the fight, and Mayweather's face looked like hamburger.
Yeah.
Because he took more damage. But that doesn't matter in boxing. Like, that matters a lot more in MMA. So, I mean, that's when boxing started to die for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it as a sport, but it's not fighting. That's why.
Well, I mean, damage in MMA has to be important because there's so many things going on that you can't score.
Yeah.
Right? Boxing's way easier to score. It's way easier to put point values on things. But it's such a hyper specific slice of MMA, right? Like, it's just those guys are really good at one tiny part of MMA, and it's so different. The thing that I find that's interesting is that, you know, no way Conor McGregor wins in a boxing ring. But Floyd Mayweather doesn't. Oh, Conor McGregor doesn't win in a boxing ring with Floyd Mayweather, right? 0% chance. But there are probably boxers in the world he could beat, professional boxers.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather loses to anybody who's been signed to a UFC contract.
Yes. 100%.
In the first round.
Yes.
In the opening couple of minutes, right?
Yeah, unless they want to play with him.
There's too many skill sets there.
Yeah.
Unless they want to play with him, but I mean,
he has a lifetime of boxing, and his body is trained to box. The moment you have to do, I mean, that's why most.
Somebody just shoot in, take your fucking legs out from under you, straddle your chest, and punch you in the head till the referee says stop.
Yeah, I mean, you can't grab onto him and just, break. No, you're gonna have your face caved in. I wish there was some magical world where we could actually see the reverse of this.
I mean, I do too, but you don't need to.
No.
You know how that ends.
It would be so sad. But like we said, he is a garbage human being, and it would just be fun.
It would be so much fun to watch Conor McGregor.
I mean, I don't think there's any
beat
chance.
Him mercilessly. Just drag it out
Oh.
for 3 rounds. Just taking him down over and over again. Fucking snapping leg kicks into his thighs until his legs don't work anymore. Come on, that'd be amazing.
But, I mean, there's absolutely no way because... Money Mayweather.
He doesn't have to.
He's all about the money. He's doing this because it's a cash grab. So is Conor.
Yeah, why's
clearly.
he doing this?
What?
Just to make $100 million, I guess. I mean,
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just had a kid. I think he's gonna retire after this.
You think so? He
might do 1 or 2 other fights.
I was about to say, where do you go from here? After you get your ass kicked by Floyd Mayweather.
You go home with your $100 million plus.
And then quit?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, that'd be hard, but I mean, it's smart.
Do you
You're in a combat sport? Like, why take that damage?
That's true. Yeah, you don't want to be the guy who's at home with brain damage, fucking, Muhammad Ali in his 50s. Do you think he got freaked out when he got beat by Diaz? And he started looking for an alternate way to get out. That's why he's taking this.
I don't think so. I think he has also picked his fights a little bit, but he's also the only way I could see there being any chance of him winning is that Conor McGregor is very, very good at the mental game. Mayweather is deceptively good considering he can't read and can barely speak, but he's also very good at the mental side. But it's a whole different world. I mean, Conor's great on the mic. I mean, he's throwing out one-liners and shit. That's going to be. I'd rather watch
get into
that.
Floyd's head.
He might, if he can get him to play his game for just a little bit.
Okay.
And like get Mayweather to want to taunt him.
Right.
And really think that Conor is in over his head, which he is. But then that lulls him into a sense of security that allows that one punch to connect. I mean, that's all it takes. I mean, Mayweather's a 40-something-year-old man that's been boxing his whole life.
Yeah.
His whole life. A solid punch from a 30-year-old like knockout artist. I mean, you're going fucking down.
That's true.
So there's that puncher's chance. In this case, it's a very small chance because Mayweather doesn't get hit. But, I mean, sure, anything can happen.
You called it. I think there's probably a provision that prevents this. But I'd read the other day that the only way that this fight ends that satisfies everyone is it goes 8 rounds with Conor getting picked apart and Mayweather's just starting to open up and just brutalize McGregor until he's almost ready to go down. Referee's thinking about stopping the fight. And as he's getting ready to go down, he just loses himself for a moment and he throws a fucking huge kick to fucking Floyd Mayweather's head and knocks him out cold and they both fall to the mat. Floyd knocks Floyd Mayweather out cold. McGregor's disqualified. Everybody's like, yeah, fucking that's how it should end.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, right? I think everybody would. Well, maybe not the boxing fans. They probably wouldn't be thrilled at that.
Whatever. They need to move on and accept that there are other combat sports.
How many people are talking about this fight who have no business talking about it? Like me.
Effectively everyone.
Right? Everybody's got a fucking take on this.
There's the chance that somebody knows what they're talking about while talking about it is about the same chance that Conor McGregor has of winning the fight. Myself included. I mean, I've been involved in combat sports and I've been a fan for years, but I'm not there. I know a lot more than a lot of other people, but I'm not them.
lot. You know a lot about MMA, but your exposure to boxing is pretty minimal.
Yeah, purely as a fan, because I've never done pure boxing.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's funny, those armchair fighters. It's just like the people that get on Twitter and talk shit to NFL players. They're like, man, you should work on your hands. It's like, dude, you can't even see your penis. Like, shut the fuck up, you fat bitch. Like, why are you on Twitter talking shit to this multimillionaire that makes money playing a game while you're sitting on the shitter at your mom's house? Like, shut the fuck up.
That is the worst breed of human being. The person who truly believes, the Madden quarterbacks, the guys who truly believe if they were the head coach of an NFL team, that their team would make the Super Bowl. It's like, look, man, all you got to do is use the run to open up the fucking pass, man. How hard is it? Just drive the ball up the middle.
Fucking hit stick that motherfucker and you're good.
Play some fucking punch him in the mouth football, man. Come on. We're from Pittsburgh. That's what we do.
Wow. It is a lot of the Pittsburgh people. Ravens fans are really bad at that. I mean, well, I make the same argument, though, about my argument for football specifically, because it's such an intense sport for many people. A lot of other sports are a little more laid back. People are diehard baseball fans, but for the most part, it's not as intense.
Yeah, I would agree with
physically
that.
Intense
Yeah.
as football can be. But I think if you're in the hub of wherever team is from, that's where you have all the idiots, because it's all the people that are fans because it's their local area, and they're fans no matter what. It's not the people that are fans because they really enjoy the game. It's like, they're like, that's my team, I love my team. It's fucking idiots, man.
My favorite people in the world are the people who are fans of like a dog shit team, like the Buffalo Bills or something like that. And every year there's one of those assholes who's like, Buffalo Bills Super Bowl champs 2019. They get it tattooed on their fucking arm or something like that. Those are my favorite people, because I'm like, I know you're going to get it covered up after this year, but you're always going to look at that and you're always going to know.
It may be covered, but you see it. Or more importantly, your friends see it, and they will remind you.
You won't admit it to yourself, but you fucking know that you did that, and they let you down.
I mean, I don't believe in like fate or luck, so to speak. Like, I guess so a little bit, but I don't rely on any of it. But I mean, you're just tempting it. That's like everyone. Like every year when the Caps are doing well and everybody's looking at me, they're like, what do you think they're going to do this? I was like, I think they're going to go out in first or second round to the Rangers or Pittsburgh. And they're like, why are you so negative? You got to believe. I was like, no, I don't. Like, that's, if they do make it like they should, it'll be even more sweeter for me, because I will have been a non-believer all the way through the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm proven wrong, and I will freely admit.
Yeah, but see, I'm a big believer, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, your mindset is your mindset, but like, I'm a big believer in sports is just emotional gambling, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're investing yourself into the outcome of this team, and the more you believe, the more it hurts when it doesn't happen, and the sweeter it is when it does, right? So I think people like you, I think people who are always like, yeah, they're going to get bounced in the first round. Like, Yeah, that's fine. You're probably right. And you know what that does is that insulates you from that real deep crushing disappointment when it actually happens. But I think it also insulates you from, I think, a really awesome feeling when they eventually win the cup.
I can agree with that because I definitely don't understand the people that are like truly emotionally involved in their sports team.
Yeah.
I love the Capitals. I love the Ravens. You know, I support the Orioles.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Have some shirts.
Yeah. Whatever. If they do well, I'm happy.
Hooray! Yeah.
But you know, even hockey, which I would say is my favorite team sport, it's if they don't do well, yeah, it's upsetting. But then the next day, like, okay, all right, I'll see you next season. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's fine, and I'll love it all the way through. I'll love watching it. I'll watch most of the games. I'll go to a few, but if they don't, it's not. I'm not going to let it affect my life. And then I see people where it's like, you know, they're invested in like preseason games of football, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't understand that at all.
I mean, I know people who, when their team gets eliminated, go through real dark times. Like, it's real bad for them. Like, real life depression. Yeah. Like,
Gabe was ready to kill me when I said that I would rather, like, I'd rather have a fantasy football championship than have the Ravens go to the Super Bowl. He was ready to stab my ass.
I get that, though.
It's a direct thing. I win money, and I like money.
But that's you. That's definitely you.
I'm not playing on the Ravens. If I was playing on, I'm a super competitive person when it comes to sports. I don't like to lose. If you're playing. If I'm playing.
But you don't invest in anything emotionally.
Yeah, I'm pretty dead inside.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of The Rock and Sean William Scott.
The rundown.
You
love.
Don't.
That tips onto the love scale.
I think you don't.
Which barely exists.
That's a -1 on the hate scale.
Yeah.
You don't have a love scale.
I don't have a love scale.
You just have a negative side of the hate scale. I think it's just one scale, but that side only goes to 3.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it doesn't go all the way to 10. It's just, you know.
One day.
So I had a back-to-back movie experience over last weekend that I wanted to mention fairly briefly. I had my biggest surprise of 2017 and my biggest disappointment of 2017 so far. Which do you want to hear first?
Oh, let's go surprise.
My biggest surprise of 2017 was The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
I actually watched that yesterday.
The ad campaigns for that didn't give away all the best parts. Not perfect, but a lot of fun. Really cool, really well done. And I don't want to give away a lot here. I just want to let people know. I put it off. It's been on HBO for like 2 months now or something like that. I'm putting it off. I'm like, I hear it's good, but, you know, the ads didn't look that good. Well, it's because I think the ads did everybody a service by not giving away the whole goddamn thing right away.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was definitely a lot. It wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
I mean, half of it was exactly what I expected.
Yeah, right.
But story-wise, I wasn't. I was caught off guard, and it was kind of interesting to sort of figure it out. That one was it was actually cool too because I have a friend that's out in Hollywood, and I remember him after I saw it. I remember him posting about it at one point. But I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I see like a goon on the ground dead or something, and I was like, "Hey, I know that guy."
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then in a later scene, it's like a flashback or whatever, and you actually see him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, that guy used to work with us at Diamondback. And
that's awesome.
So that was kind of cool. That made that a little extra cool because I like paused it. I was like, I forgot about it, and then I saw it sort of go by, and I was like, wait, is that Joe? I think I know him. I like rewinded it, went back. I was like, that's fucking him. And then a few scenes later, they show the scene of him actually standing up. I was like, that's definitely him.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that was really cool. Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it was. It was
Not
fun.
quite rundown, but
Not quite the rundown. It was Ben Affleck's never go full retard movie, right? Like,
yeah.
You know,
Shut up. No.
I think he wanted that to be Oscar bait. You know, I don't think it's gonna be, but
No, not at all. But
but
certainly
he
entertaining.
definitely gets props for that one. He did a great job with it. See The Accountant. My biggest disappointment of the year. Not that I expected this to be that awesome, but it was way worse than I thought. The third Star Trek movie. I think it's not Into Darkness. It's Beyond. I'm gonna go full spoiler here, okay? Not full spoiler, but I'm gonna spoil a part. And I guess fast forward a minute if you haven't seen it. In the third act of the movie, like in the midst of like the big battle at the end, the fucking crew of the Star Trek Enterprise destroys the alien armada literally with the power of the Beastie Boys playing really loud.
What?
I'm not even fucking kidding.
That makes me want to watch it even more.
It is the most absurd thing I've ever seen in a movie that seemed to take itself semi-seriously right up until that point.
Somebody said that as a joke, and then they're like, "Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Look,
do
roll
it.
with
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, fucking one of them died last year, right? We can get mileage out of that." No, they're like, dude, if we just play this, if we broadcast this out through a frequency,
wait, is that like
really loud, it will fuck them up. And they're
is
just
it like Mars attacks? Do they all just start exploding? Like
yeah, literally, they are flying around space through this alien armada that's like has like a hive mind, like a swarm mind, right? And they're just driving through them, just playing the Beastie Boys, fucking through broadcasting it over some sort of frequency, and they are just exploding as they fly by. No weapons, just the power of rock and roll. It is the most
rap and roll.
This is the most fucking absurd thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, I could see that being very disappointing.
So you can skip Star Trek 3. You motherfuckers. I love the first one so much. That J.J. Abrams one, the first reboot, loved it to death and back.
Wait, was the other one another reboot? Or it's
no.
Right?
So there's Star Trek, right? Chris Pine was the reboot, and this was the third one of the reboots.
Okay, gotcha.
The first one I loved it. The second one, okay, it was good. Like I still liked it. This was pure garbage. God damn it. I'm so disappointed.
So we started to talk with all the fight talk.
Yes.
And then we wanted to transition over into sort of the fitness and
yeah. That was a direction we were headed before I turned a left into movie land.
I mean, we can talk about Batman versus Superman if you want. Just kidding. Never again.
No,
but never forget.
That was something that we wanted to get into. So you deadlifted 500 pounds today.
Yeah.
Which is something that you've done before at your peak, kind of.
Yeah. So I've never been super concentrated on the strength. I always wanted to get stronger, but it's like some people will focus their fitness goals to purely strength or purely one type of everything or purely aesthetics, like how you look and all that. And I've always sort of like blurred that line, like
right, just kind of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I'd like to look good, but I'd also like to get stronger. And I guess it was a couple years ago was when I was at my strongest with everything. And then I broke my hand on a guy's face, and then,
as you do.
And then of course like all the craziness in Ellicott City, and then a baby, and you get away from stuff. And this is the first time I've deadlifted 500 since probably two maybe 3 years ago.
So how many hours a week are you spending at the gym at this point?
4 or 5 a week.
So what's that, like 3 visits, hour and a half a piece?
I mostly just go like an hour a day for, as many days as I can, and it's
Oh, okay. So it's a 1 hour. It's a 1 hour. Now, is it all just lifting, or is there some treadmill time in there? Is there
I don't
like
do a lot of cardio. I'm starting to get more into it now because my ultimate goal is to try to do like physique, which requires you to be like super super lean.
and the cardio is what gets you lean because
It takes that extra. I mean, just burning extra calories. Ultimately, it's really just. I mean, I've talked about this on with people online where it, generally speaking, comes down to calories in, calories out.
Sure.
As long as you're eating a pretty balanced diet and all that stuff.
But I
So
mean,
if you're working out a lot and you're not eating too much, you're gonna get leaner. But then to really dial it in, you gotta
really hollow out those fats that are left over.
that's where you really got to get. Most people have to get cardio in.
Really.
So that's what I'm starting to get into.
So do the like the straight and mass bodybuilders, do they do a lot of cardio? Do they like?
Mm-hmm.
Is there cardio stuff involved there? Is it treadmill time? Is it like
A lot of bodybuilders, from my understanding, they'll go through sort of bulk and cut phases where they'll just lift and lift and lift and lift, and of course they're all like pumped full of every drug you can
well,
imagine.
yeah, I mean that aside.
So that, I mean, that's probably where I've always had trouble, is that I'll lift and lift and lift, and I might hurt myself a little bit or something. You just can't recover naturally like those guys that are just juiced to the gills. Like,
Sure.
so they will tend to just eat and eat and eat and eat and work out and work out, work out, work out till they're as big as possible, and then they take like 3 months or something where they're doing lighter weight and just doing a lot of cardio and stuff.
Why? Why?
Uh,
What's the reasoning behind the
well,
phasing?
so to put on muscle, you have to have all the nutrients. You have to have your protein, obviously, but then all everything else you also need.
Sure.
And the easiest way is to just have tons of everything. So
Okay.
if you have, better to have too much than not enough is sort of the mindset behind bulking.
Okay, so that's the bulking phase, right? It's
Yeah.
just taking everything.
Mm-hmm. And then they try to eat clean for a few months and hope they keep as much of the muscle as possible, but then cut out all the fat.
Oh, I see. So it's like an adding muscle phase and then a subtracting fat phase.
Mm-hmm. And
Got
you
it.
you just hope to keep as much as possible.
And they do a lot of cardio during. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. But they're not. But there's never a time where they're like, I show up to the gym and I run for an hour and then I lift for an hour and a half, kind of like, because when they're bulking, their cardio is coming from the lifting.
Yeah, they probably.
Right?
I imagine. I mean, they're all different. Who knows?
Sure.
But I imagine that most of them don't do much cardio at all when they're in that bulk phase because they don't need it. That's not what they're going for.
90% of my bodybuilding exposure comes from like Arnold Schwarzenegger documentaries, and I'm just like, I don't ever remember seeing him like on a treadmill.
Well, there's nothing exciting about that.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of curious.
What's Arnold chasing the pump, not just running in place? Different.
The fucking line of his from Pumping Iron, where he's just like,
it's like, I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm getting the pump, and it's like I'm coming during the day, and then I'm chasing pussy, and I'm coming at night, and now I'm just coming and coming all day and all night, coming everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you're
this guy's in charge of a goddamn state.
I was just gonna say, and then you realize that man became governor and one of the better governors,
and definitely could have been president by now if he wasn't Austrian.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been him instead of Donald, right? Like,
oh yeah,
or maybe even he could have beaten Obama in the second term.
Probably, yeah. I still say if Dwayne Johnson runs, I'll vote for him no matter what.
I read yesterday.
It's all a joke, so who cares?
I read yesterday he registered to run for president, and I'm a big fan of the public persona of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know who he really is.
That's
I don't know who anybody really is, I guess,
Well,
at the end of the day.
So he makes he's the perfect politician.
I'm always wary of people who never drop the shield, never take off the mask, or who at least I don't see take off the mask. Another good example is Zach Galifianakis. He unnerves me. Will Ferrell. Guys who never take off the mask fucking creep me out.
Yeah, that, especially those comedians, because can you imagine like sitting down for just like his spouse or whatever, and they sit down for dinner, and he's just this creepy bastard.
And they're just fucking being weird, and like Will Ferrell's putting peas up his nose and shit.
There's got to be a certain amount of that still.
Fucking stop it, Will! It's just me!
He's like, I drive a Dodge Stratus.
There's no cameras in the room. Yeah, that shit creeps me out. And The Rock is like that in a different way.
Yeah.
In that I never see him take off that like motivational.
Oh yeah.
You too can better your life and be just like me. Like, just fucking stop it for a second. Just like.
Yeah, nobody is that positive always.
Yeah, fucking tell me how you're pissed off in traffic.
Yeah.
And
Unless
sometimes you just wish you could eat a fucking bagel.
Yeah, or wait, maybe there's like in the Unbreakable universe, but instead of like super strength and invulnerability, it's just like the antithesis of me. So he really is that super positive and likes everything all the time.
Oh, I see. The Rock is Bizarro Mikey.
Yeah.
I see. So everywhere you're on the negative, he's in the positive. Yeah, I get it.
But this isn't a movie, so fuck that. Everybody hates everything at some point.
Except occasionally I know when nobody else is in the room and like it's just you and your son. I know that there are moments where you just like look into his eyes and you're like, I only really love you. And you complete my life. And there's this sweet moment that nobody ever witnesses and nobody will ever see, but I know that happens.
Yeah, that's true.
If The Rock is Bizarro you, what's that moment for him? That's him like stomping on the head of a kitten. Like, at least I feel something now. And he just walks in. Nobody ever sees it, except for the butler who has to clean it up later.
I mean, he's got to get his rocks off somehow. That's the catch. Like, Rock is like the perfect, like an actual politician. Like, he's a great person all the time, but he has to smash kitten skulls to get off at night.
once a week, Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Would Utopia be worth it? But your president has to fucking smash kitten skulls every night, and then like beat off into a cup or something.
Right.
Is Utopia worth it?
The Rock would beat off into the cup and then drink it.
Yeah. No wasted protein.
Get that protein. Earn that cheat day.
Oh, that's the worst cheat day advice ever.
Fuck.
Is that why gay dudes are so jacked?
Yeah,
Just had an epiphany there.
No wasted protein. That's the ticket. Fuck.
You better lap time that.
Yeah, I did. Got it. It's in there. Oh, where do we go from here? From President Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Do we the sand is gone, the timer is going up. Do we go to Would You Rather? Is there anything else you'd like to discuss this week?
Let's wrap it up with some
Would You Rather? All right.
See how super dark we get this week.
Yeah, sometimes these things fucking come out of left field. Would you rather hit a beehive with a boat paddle and run, or Jesus Christ, or hit a police officer with the same paddle and run? It depends on how they wrote this question. I think they probably wrote this question like you're gonna like semi-playfully slap him in the ass as hard as you can and run away. Like, I imagine you fucking winding this motherfucker up
like
and knocking him out cold.
Yeah, I mean, it's got it. That's what it has to be.
I mean,
'Cause
you turn that shit on edge.
I mean,
You'd kill him.
I mean, you're taking the dude out, or you're setting off a bee time bomb. I mean, it's another one where you have to have a question. Like, if it's some dickhead, like racist ass cop that's obviously corrupt or all that shit,
point.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll fucking knock that guy's head off. Like, I'm not worried about people in general. It's like, as long as that's a bad person, fuck yeah, I'll hurt the shit out of them. But otherwise, I guess the bees, like,
I mean, is he gonna? Am I
if I
gonna
don't
hit
get
him?
to pick the cop,
Am I gonna hit him and I'm gonna run? He's gonna shoot at me, like, and then I'll take the bees. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how pissed is he? Like,
yeah, I'll take a few. Yeah, gunshots hurt a lot more than some.
am I gonna
bee
go to
stings.
jail? Then yeah, I'll probably take the bees. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, this one gets tagged as not enough detail.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Get your shit together, would you rather?
That's a Ned question. Is what I'm going to call it from now on. Not enough detail. It's a Ned
Right.
question. As a woman, get caught by your boss making out with the elevator guy in the nude. Wildly specific. So you're the woman. You get caught by your boss making out with the elevator guy in the nude. Are you both nude? Are you in the elevator?
I like to imagine that you're in the elevator. I'll
Are
say
you-
both nude.
Why is it the elevator guy? I guess he's in the nude. Are you just nude?
I feel like half of these are picked through Mad Libs. They're like, profession, elevator guy. That's it. Perfect.
It's a computer just generates these. Or get caught by a coworker stripping for your boss in his office.
I guess the first. I feel like there's a lot less fallout there.
Except you get caught by your boss.
Right. But I mean, the boss of a company or something, I mean, that's potentially like career ending. If the boss catches you doing something, that might be awkward, or worst case, you might lose that job. But I mean, you get caught having an affair with a like top level guy in whatever
Okay.
industry.
So let's
think that
adjust this question a little bit. He's the owner of the company that you work for.
Is
Okay.
it an elevator company?
It's an elevator. So he either catches you naked in an elevator making out with a guy, or one of your coworkers at the elevator company walks into the boss's office and you're stripping for him. I feel like in that case, it's the stripping one. Because
know.
theoretically, if you're doing it for the boss, you're not going to get fired, probably.
But that's also a lot easier to explain away. How do you explain away just being naked in the elevator with the
Fucking-
elevator dude?
Tongue boxing a fucking elevator operator? What is an elevator guy? Is an elevator operator? Is it 1948?
Is it like a bellhop?
I don't fucking know what an elevator guy is. Is it a repair guy?
It's like, how are you doing today, sir?
A bullshit
Pulls a little
question.
chain. Like, you go.
Would you rather chew your own hand out of a trap or pull out all of your teeth and swallow them one at a time?
Hand.
Little fucking whipped cream on that cake.
Hand. Absolutely. I hate dental pain.
Chew your own hand out of a trap.
I feel like you'd have to chew a little bit and then you just fucking snap that shit. Rip that shit out.
Oh, did you read? I mean, did I never saw the movie, but I mean, did you read the passage from 27 Hours when that guy fucking finally cut his own arm off and snapped the bones? Like, no, he had like a dull pocket knife, so it sounded really brutal, but it sounded really hard. I'm
Yes.
concerned about my ability to chew my own hand off.
Yeah, but also imagine how hard it would be to get your teeth out of your head. How many teeth do you have? It's a lot of teeth. You have one hand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident in my ability to pull one tooth out.
Oh, wait, was it
Or
one? I thought
three.
it said-
No. you got to pull them all out one at a time. I'm saying I'm confident in my ability to pull one out. I'm confident in my ability to pull 3 out. And then there's somewhere a number in there where my body's like, nope, we're not fucking doing that anymore.
I'm pretty wholeheartedly behind chewing my hand off.
Oh, that sounds really fucking awful.
Oh, well, no shit. They're both awful. But I think the teeth thing is significantly more awful.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a good answer.
That's my argument.
One. Would you rather, we're going dark. Would you rather have to put to sleep 5 puppies you just got? Wait, just hear the second one. Or a dog you've had for a year?
A dog you've had for a year?
Yeah, this is another one of those train track questions, I think. I think this is fucking...
Oh, that's pretty tough, actually. Because...
I mean, it says put to sleep. So is it like the clinical, like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're not like old yellering the bitch.
I don't have to fucking smother them with my hands,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't like, you know, we're doing it with meds. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know. I guess go utilitarian and say
I don't want to bring this whole thing down, but like, I had to put my dog down earlier in the year, and I was there when they did it, and that shit seemed pretty peaceful. It seemed like a pretty good way to go out.
Yeah. And you also had that dog for what, 10 years?
10 years. Yeah. No, it was brutal. It was it was awful. I'm just saying in the context of this question, I'm putting dogs to sleep regardless, and it's either 5 dogs I don't know or 1 dog that I really do know. And so to me, it's kind of sad that I got to take out 5 puppies, but it's way worse if I got to like know this one dog.
I don't know, that's tough. I was originally thinking like going sort of utilitarian and
Oh, one instead of 5, like straight off the bat.
But yeah, like my dog versus 5 random dogs. Yeah, that's
tough.
I don't know. Maybe
these puppies are dicks. I mean, you don't know. Nobody says they're like good puppies.
Yeah, little asshole puppies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say fuck those asshole
shitting
puppies.
everywhere and biting people. Like you don't know. You don't think
everywhere.
like little fucking fuzzball. You know, licking your face and shit. I mean, maybe they're just maybe they're total assholes.
Yeah,
they smell bad.
They're racist.
They have AIDS.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
They drive slow in the fast lane. Fuck those puppies.
They chain together 7-Elevens on 7-Eleven days to get more than one Slurpee.
Dickhead, little shitty puppies. Fuck those puppies.
Assholes. Would you rather have to walk through a 100 square foot area in which 25 landmines the size of dinner plates are hidden, or in which only 4 landmines the size of compact cars are hidden? This is a fucking stupid question. I don't think they thought this through. This doesn't make any sense.
It makes me feel like I have to do math, and I want to.
You can't fit 4 compact cars in a 100 square foot area. That's a 10 by 10 block. It's fucking stupid. You can't put 4 cars in a 10 by 10 block.
All right, well, fuck that question.
Car's like 12 feet long or something. Even a little car is like 8 feet long. You can't put 4 of them in there. It's a fucking stupid question. Fuck you, would you rather, people. One day I'm going to hit that goddamn camera with that card.
I bet those damn puppies came up with that question.
Yeah, fucking asshole puppies.
While they were out looking for free Slurpees on 7-Eleven day.
Fucking high on cocaine.
I'm Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine. Anyway,
get out of here.
Yeah. Sans the time of rundown. We've talked about some terrible shit.
As we always do.
Sounds like a successful last call. So thank you very much for tuning in, listening to us every week. We'll see y'all next time on the next last call.
Don't waste that protein.
What?